welcome to For Flow with Chloe, and today we are going to do a class surrounding the new moon in Gemini, which is today, the day that I'm recording this on. We have got Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, all in Gemini at the moment. We also have a comet called Sedna, which has moved into Gemini. So we have a massive party in Gemini, and as I am a Sun in Gemini, I'm totally vibing with it. So we've got a lot today in the class to do with expanding. Gemini rules the lungs, and as Venus is also in Gemini, I'd like to do some heart opening because Venus is the planet of love and the heart. And it's very much this sort of solar plexus area, so we're going to have a lot of expanding of the chest, heart chakra, solar plexus area. So let's get started. I'm going to start in a seated position. I'd just like us to come into a cross-legged position or any other seated position that is comfortable for you. And just to ground in, we're going to take the hands. Gemini rules the hands and the lungs. So just to ground in, we're going to take our hands to our lungs and do some deep inhalations. And hold it at the top. And powerfully exhale. And we'll do it again. Inhaling, really feeling those lungs inflate and expand. We've got Jupiter in Gemini, hugely expansive planet. Inhale and hold at the top. Feel those lungs inflate. And breathe it out powerfully, cleansing. Gemini is an air sign, so good to clean out those lungs first and get everything nice and fresh. Gemini is a very quick, witted, very free-spirited and enthusiastic sign, very light-hearted. So we're going to aim to vibe with the light-heartedness today. Now, take your hands behind you and place them just behind you. Plant your feet. And we're just going to sway the knees from side to side, opening those hips up a little bit, allowing the feet to roll on the heel as you go. Lovely. Now take one foot and hook it onto your opposite knee and push out. Push your knee sort of away from your chest and flex the foot, pointing the toes up to the sky. And we're just going to do a little bit of twisting, really sort of clearing out that solar plexus area, solar plexus chakra. Lovely. And switch over, opposite side. You might need to lift your butt up to hook your foot onto the opposite knee. So to do that, you can push into your palms, raise the bum and hook the foot onto the knee. And do some of those lovely sways, allowing the foot and the knee to come down towards the mat. They don't have to come all the way down, just as far as is comfortable to be you. Lovely. And we're going to come up onto the knees and extend one leg out. Invitation to keep it flat or roll up onto the heel. Hand comes just a little bit further out than the knee, under the shoulder. And make a nice long line with your arm up from your toe to your fingers. Nice long diagonal line. Lovely. I'm going to sweep that arm round and place it in front or behind the leg and send it either way, making a nice arc up the opposite side of the body. Take it back round to that nice long line and sway it back round to that nice arc. Lovely. Now we're going to just swivel and allow ourselves to come into this half Hanuman position. Roll your your ankle out a little bit here. And we're going to start to try and lift the foot. So push through your fingertips. Fingertips are around level with the knee. And try to push and lift the foot up off the mat. Fabulous. If it's not doing it and you're just using the intention, you're still working your core. Lovely. Flatten that foot, bend that knee, stacking it over the ankle, and look forward. And we're going to straighten that leg and bend the leg, sending the chest forward. Straighten, pulling back, bend, and shine the heart forward. Lovely. And we're going to swivel back round. Stick the leg out on the opposite side. Come up onto that heel if you would like to. And we're going to go for these side bend gate swings on the other side. We're going to start with it reversed and then find our long line like we did on the other side. Take it into your reverse in the curved position up the side body and straight. And one more. And another. Lovely. And swivel round and walk your heel a little bit closer towards you. Find your fingers pushing into the mat and see if you can squeeze that core, clench those muscles in your thighs and lift that leg. Lovely. Now flatten that foot, bend the knee, shine the heart forward and straighten into your half Hanuman and bend, shine it forward, straighten, bend. Just like on the other side. Lovely. And we're going to come back round, stick that leg out, and we're going to shift forward and doing a little bit of a chaturanga arms and lower the hips and sink them to the ground. Coming forward, let the shoulders go past the fingertips, bend the elbows, clasp them to the chest and lower back down. Should feel a nice stretch through the back of the inner thigh here. Woo, little push up. Fabulous. Going to switch it over to the other side and repeat those motions on the other side. Little chaturanga arms and lower to the ground, find that inner thigh stretch. Ooh, chaturanga. Try and connect to your breath here. I'm going to do 2 more. Fabulous. I'm going to swivel round onto hands and knees, making sure the wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And we're going to come into our cat-cows just to wake that spine up a little bit. Pushing the ground away in your cat and arching the spine. Inhaling, dipping the spine and looking up a little bit in your cow. 2 more. Exhale as you push that ground away. Lovely. Now take an arm up to the sky and thread it underneath the opposite arm. And slide it back out and open it, and you'll thread the needles, thread it back under the opposite arm, open it back out, make a little twist, thread it back under the opposite arm. Wonderful. Walk your fingertips towards the end of the mat. Feel a nice deep shoulder stretch in both shoulders. One should be inside the armpit, the other sort of along the back of the shoulder girdle. Lift the arm up if you can and see if you can fold it and hook it onto your upper thigh on the opposite side in a bind. A little bit more shoulder stretching and unwind. Plant the palm, plant the other one. Raise the opposite arm to the sky, twisting open. Thread that arm underneath the opposite arm. Bringing the head down to the mat. Open it back out. Thread it back under. Bringing that head down again. Opening out and twisting and threading back under. Fabulous. Now walking those fingertips to the top of the mat again. Breathe, feel that nice stretch in the armpit here. And a nice stretch across the back of the shoulder girdle on the other arm. Lift the arm up if you can and see if you can hook the fingers onto the back of the inner thigh, on the opposite thigh. Finding that twisted bind. And unwind, coming back to your hands and knees in your tabletop. Now slide both hands forward and allow the chest to sink and melt, melting that heart down to the ground. Nice deep stretch through the shoulders and the spine in your puppy pose. Breathe your chest or your forehead or your chin down towards the mat. Lovely, and slide the hands back towards you. Invitation to fold the toes under and sit on them for a bit of a toe stretch. We're going to take the arms out in front of us, like we're going to dive into something, then swim them out behind us, opening that chest. Now see if you can reach behind you and allow the fingers to meet. Fold the arms behind you and see if you can find your reverse prayer. Otherwise, just grab opposite elbows. Grab where you can and just feel that chest opening and feel that juicy stretch through those toes. Lovely. While you're in your prayer position, opening your heart space and breathing into those lungs, start to think some happy thoughts and set maybe some intentions, some manifestations for this new lunar cycle or for your practice today. Lovely. New moons are a fabulous time to step our feet up into a halfway lift, a wide leg halfway lift, and grab opposite elbows and just swing from side to side in our ragdoll. As I was saying, new moons are a fabulous time to manifest, and manifesting should come super easy on a Gemini moon because it's easy breezy as Gemini, and with Jupiter hanging out near it, the planet of luck and abundance, yeah, good juju for the manifestations. Okay, so walk your feet a comfortable distance together and raise the torso all the way up. Raise the hands overhead in your extended mountain. Tuck the butt in, tuck the tailbone in, pull the core in. Deep inhalation. We're going to side bend. Doesn't matter which side. Feel that nice juicy stretch at the side body. And we're going to take it over the opposite side straight away into side bend. Crescent on the other side. And return to center. Keeping the arms overhead, invitation to a mini back bend, so squeeze those glutes, push the hips forward, allow the head to hang back, and send the arms overhead in your mini back bend. And return to center. Bring the hands to the heart momentarily, ground in, find your balance, and we're going to send for me, the right foot back into a high lunge And we're going to raise those arms up again to the sky. And while we're here, we're going to dip, 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 and pulse. Pulse that knee down towards the mat. And when you're ready, let it go all the way down into your Anjaneyasana shape, making sure that knee is stacked over the ankle. And while we're here, we're going to push into one hand and twist. Lovely. And come back to center. Push into your palms and step that foot back into your plank, shifting the weight forward over the fingertip, the shoulders over the fingertips. Hold it for a minute. Lovely. And we're going to rotate onto the blade edge of the foot, pushing into that one hand. You can do this on the forearm as well, like so. Or you can stay up here with me in your side plank. Fabulous. And we're going to come down, drop the knees and lower the chest, melting that heart back down to the mat again. Nice little dip in the spine. Pull your chest forward and up. Push into the palms. Option to do a smaller back bend here on the forearms. Or you can be with me in your up dog. Push the hips back and up, finding your down dog, your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the feet together in your sort of zipped up dog shape. Lovely. And we're going to lift the opposite leg up to the sky. Scorpion tail that dog. And step the foot forward. Finding that high lunge on the opposite side. And when you're ready, we're going to pulse, 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 pulse. Keep dipping. Stay strong. When you're ready, sink it all the way down. Find that Anjaneyasana low lunge shape, but we're going to twist it out. Fantastic. Bring that hand back onto the mat. Step it back again into your plank, and then we're going to shift and tilt over onto the knife edge, opposite side in your side plank. Windmill that arm back down to the mat, finding your plank again. Lovely. And lower the chest down. Again, melting that heart, pulling it all the way through into your up dog. Can be cobra or sphinx. Shift the hips back, finding that down dog. Again, maybe you want to have a little pedal. And we're kicking that leg up to the sky. I'm kicking up my right leg and send it into that scorpion leg. Hold it for a moment. Then step it through and forward, coming back into a high lunge on the opposite side, taking the arms up, and then sweeping the arms back. See if you can find your reverse prayer in this position. From your reverse prayer, you can also grab the opposite elbows. See if you can work your fingers further up the back and reach behind in your sort of cow face, arms here. If it's not accessible today, then grab opposite elbows. Wonderful. Now twist, rotate the hips, keeping that knee bent, rotating the hips to the long edge of the mat, opening those arms out, finding your warrior two, your Virabhadrasana. Lovely. And we're going to reverse it. Find that nice side stretch, opening that heart up towards that new moon. And we're going to take it back to our Virabhadrasana. 2, and then send it into our side angle. Find that nice long line. You don't have to go as low as this can be higher. Just make sure you're not dumping your weight into the knee and keeping that chest peeled right open. Beautiful. Now rotate it. Bring that hand down to the mat. Come up onto the toes and twist the torso open the opposite side. Wonderful. Bring your hand down to the mat and we're going to walk, walk, walk. Rotate both sets of toes towards the long edge of the mat and allow the torso to sink, finding that wide leg forward fold. Let the head hang here for a moment. Feel that nice stretch up the backs of the legs. If you're not reaching the floor here, maybe you would like to bind the hands together and just let the head dangle to where it wants to go to. Beautiful. And we're going to rotate, rotate, rotate round. Bend in the knee. Find that lunge on the opposite side. Take the arms back. See if you can do that reverse prayer here. Option again to grab each opposite elbow. And whichever arm you reached back with before, if you're going for the cow face arms here, switch it over so that you've done both sides. Beautiful. Now we're going to rotate our hips towards the long edge of the mat. Open the arms out, find that Virabhadrasana 2. Beautiful. And reverse it. Open that heart out, offer it up to the moon like a beautiful wish. Find your 2. And tilt the torso, shoulder down towards the ground, finding that long line in your side angle. Allow the hand to come down to the ground, rotate up onto the toes and twist open the opposite way. Rotating it around, bringing that arm back down. Plant your foot behind you and walk, 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 walk back into that deep forward fold. Allow the head to sink down again towards the mat. Hands to your hips and power up strong through the legs. Open the arms out, rotate both sets of toes out, finding your Titi Tadasana. And then sink the hips, keeping that spine straight and the tailbone tucked. Finding your goddess. Maybe do something with your arms like this. Cross them at the wrists. Bring them to the heart, or you can keep them at the hips. Power back up. And we're going to turn the right toes back to face the long edge of the mat, keeping the other toes pointing towards the short edge. We're going to reach the imaginary shelf behind us. Then we're going to shift that weight and tilt, tilt, tilt into your triangle. Your triangle does not have to be touching the floor. It can be at the shin or the thigh, wherever your triangle is today. Fabulous. Windmill that arm down to the mat, coming into your pyramid shape. Option to sink, sink, sink and fold over that thigh. Maybe you raise the heel here to extend that stretch. Beautiful. Lower that foot back down. We're going to drop the knee, making sure the knee at the front is stacked. Sweep the arms up, arcing the chest up to the sky, open that heart up to the moon in your Anjaneyasana. And we're going to come up onto the toes at the back, elevating that leg and twist again, like we did last summer. Sorry. And then we're going to push into our palms, step it all back, pushing the ground away in our plank. Now we're going to rotate onto our side plank. Option to take your forearm plank again. See if you can raise your foot here and bring it to the inner thigh in your side tree. Then step it behind onto either the ball of the foot or the back of the foot. Push up, up, up. Pull the heart open. Keep pushing through that grounded hand and open the chest out in your wild thing. Offering that heart to the moon. Rotate back round, finding your plank. Absolutely beautiful. And we're going to go onto the other arm. In your side plank. I'm going to do it again on the blade edge of your foot. Find the inner thigh with the opposite foot. Send that foot behind. You can come up onto the ball of the foot or the backs of the toes and push that hip up. Peel that heart open. Shine it to the sky and let the arm hang. Find that back bend in your wild thing. Let the arm find the ground and the hip magically follows. Finding your plank again. Fantastico. And we're going to drop the knees. Lower the heart to the ground. Let it melt. Feeling warm yet, guys? Inhale and scoop along the floor. Pushing up into your up dog. Push through your hands. Sending the hips up to the sky and finding your down dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Fabulous. Have a little rest here for a minute. Let the head hang. Find your breath. Beautiful back bends we've done. Beautiful heart opening. And when you're ready, lifting that right leg up to the sky. Scorpion tail it open. Step it forward into your Anjanasana. Right leg is bent. Arms up to the sky. Offer that heart up. Lower the hands. Raise the foot. Give it a little twist. Beautiful. Lower that hand back to the mat. Plant that back foot out at about 10 to 2. Finding your pyramid on your right leg. Option to breathe, breathe, fold, fold, lower over that thigh. Option to lift the heel to really extend that stretch if that's comfortable for you. Lower that foot back down. And we're going to pivot the back foot slightly until the toes face the long edge of the mat. Push through the fingertips up into your triangle on the opposite side. I'm going to flip myself around so that you can see me. You stay where you are. Beautiful. And we're going to push up, 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 finding our way back to standing in our Trikonasana. Open both sets of toes out into our Tadasana. Bend the knees, tucking that tailbone, pulling in the stomach and the pelvic floor up. Cross those wrists at the top in your goddess or your hand positioning of choice. Power back up, and we're going to put the hands on the hips. Send your toes back to the long edge of the mat. Fold forward here. Walk your feet out a little bit wider. See if you can get your head to touch the mat. If you can, and you have headstand in your practice, grip the mat with your hands, push into the head. If you don't have your headstand yet, then sink into your yogi squat. Otherwise, straighten those legs up into your handstand and come back down, lowering them in back into your wide leg forward fold. Bring the feet in a little bit. Bring the hands into a prayer. Find the insides of your knees and lower the butt down to the ground, pushing those knees apart in your yogi squat. Your yogi squat can be up here, your yogi squat can be down here. It's how open your hips are today. Embrace your body where it's at today. Have a little sway here. And if you can, open the arms out, shine out that heart. Open the arms out. Invite that new moon. Bring the hands back to center. Remember any intentions you had, any wishes you want to put out into the universe today. Beautiful. And push your weight into your right foot, extending the left into your Skandasana. This can be with the foot planted and higher. And we're going to shift the weight over to the other side, Skandasana on the opposite side. Beautiful. And we're going to rotate the hips back round, push into the palms, step back into your plank pose. Beautiful. Now bend the elbows, grip the chest, and lower down in your chaturanga. Option to come into your chandana, your knees, chin, chest instead. Push up into your up dog or back bend of choice here, and push the hips back up to the sky, finding your zipped up down dog. That means with your feet as close together as they will go. Beautiful. Now when you're ready, choosing which hand you want to push into, we're going to push the weight and try and find our wild thing from our down dog. So push your weight into, I'm going to choose my left hand to push into. So ground powerfully that hand, lift up the right leg if you're using your left hand to take the weight. Switch those instructions around if you're doing it the opposite way. Bend that leg into your scorpion tail and allow the foot to come down to the ground behind you. Then push up through the hips and peel that heart open. Maybe you want to walk that back foot in a little. Let the arm hang. And if you have it in you, you can twist and rotate the hands and find your wheel. Beautiful. And lower down. If you did not find the wheel there, then let me just find mine again. Look down to the ground where you're going to bring your hand back down to, and find the ground with that hand, and the hip will follow. Then you can lower to your knees, sit bones, and roll onto your back. Beautiful. Slide your hips forward and roll back, and just lie here for a minute. Say, good work, well done body. Thank you for being so expansive and allowing me to find my flexibility and strength. Put those hands on those lungs again for a mo. Take some deep inhalations and some exhalations. Connect to the breath. Connect to the heart space. Connect to the solar plexus. Connect to your joy. Connect to your life force. And remember those intentions, those good intentions you want to send out on this new moon. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the feet up off the mat. You can find your peace fingers or your little pairs of scissors and hook them around the big toes, or you can grab the blades of the edges of the feet. I'm going to go from peace fingers and open the knees out a little wider. Hook the elbows inside and bring the knees down towards the armpits. Push that tailbone down towards the ground here as much as possible so the spine's not too curved. And just rock gently from side to side in your happy baby. Feeling refreshed and new with the joy of a newborn. It's a new moon, it's a new cycle, it's a new journey. Beautiful. And lower those feet down to the ground. I'm just going to shift my butt forward a little bit further because we are going to come into our shoulder stand and then our plow. And I'm worried I'm going to bang my feet on that table if I don't shift forward. Okay, so when you're ready, pushing into the ground, we're going to raise the feet up towards the sky and just see if you can lift the tailbone up off of the ground. Really powerful through the core here. Option to lift and grab the tailbone or backs of the glutes with the hands and help push your thumb up and point your toes, finding your shoulder stand here. Or you can clasp the hands together and push. Try and find a straight line here, strong through the core. Beautiful. And then allow the feet to slowly sink back, back, back over the head until the toes find the floor. Push those hips right up into your plow. Whenever you're ready, you can grab the hips at the back and just roll and lower down. Or if you have it, you can ear squeeze. So just bend the knees here and see if you can wrap them around the sides of your head. And then straighten the legs and roll the bum back down towards the mat. Lovely jubbly. Give yourself a little hug. Give yourself a little rock. Say good job, self. Then let the knees sink down to the ground on one side, twist in that spine. Look down the arm on the opposite side if you'd like to. Option for keeping the neck straight and gaze up at the ceiling here, or the sky if you happen to be practicing outside. How lovely. Bring the knees back to centre and let them sink over in the opposite direction. Invitation again to look down the opposite arm. And bring the knees back to centre. And then let the legs be long. And the arms come to where they want to. Find your Savasana, your final resting pose. Invitation again to bring those hands to those lungs. Thank you to those of you who have joined me to this point and are not going on to the guided meditation. I would like to thank you for practicing with me today. Those of you who are staying for meditation, I invite you to stay where you are while I quickly just roll onto my side to say namaste to all of you who joined me to this point. I hope you had a good practice. I hope you really opened your heart, and happy new moon. Bye. As you relax onto the mat, hands to lungs, feeling them inflate with air. Connecting to the breath within the lungs. As you inhale, feel them fill, expanding. And as you exhale, release any sense of stagnancy or unwanted emotions. On your next inhalation, I invite you to imagine breathing in fresh spring air and sunlight. Let it radiate deep into your chest, your heart, your lungs. Flow with your breath, welcoming in the new and expelling the old. I invite you to imagine as you inhale, your chest becoming lighter, filling with air until you could almost float away. Float away on the breeze. Elevating from the ground. I invite you to imagining opening your arms, inviting the air, the breath, the sky. As you open out your arms, wings unfurl from your back. With every inhalation, your wings open, and with every exhalation, they close until you are flying. Up into the breeze, up into the sky, weightless, soaring. Is it day or night in your sky? Maybe you're flying over a sunlit ocean, or is it a twinkling starlit canopy? Embrace the weightlessness and joy of feeling so free. So weightless. Let any unwanted feelings be forgotten and left behind. There is nothing here to weigh you down. Notice the beauty of the landscape as you soar above it. The beautiful colours of the sky as you twist and turn and dance through it. Your wings radiant, glowing, weightless. Maybe now you spot a pleasant place to land, a special place. Where is this special place? I invite you to picture it. A comfortable space for you to rest. Is it a house? A forest? A beach? Somewhere new, previously unexplored, or somewhere unique and familiar to you. As you search around the environment, taking it all in, perhaps you notice some pillows or blankets or soft furnishings that invite you now to rest. To rest in your safe and special place. I invite you now to lay down upon the blankets or the surface you find so soft and inviting. As you rest upon it, feel yourself sink deeper and deeper, surrendering into it. Surrendering into the bliss of freedom and comfort. I invite you now to return to the room or the space that you rested in, to follow my voice back to the here and now, to the true surface that you rest upon. I invite you to notice any distant sounds, any familiar textures, any external sensations, the temperature of the room. Back to the here and the now. Back to where you rest. Back to your mat. And when you're ready, I invite you to rise from your mat. Taking your time, maybe wriggling your toes and fingers first. Maybe having a big stretch. Blinking open the eyes. Back to the here and the now with me. Welcome back. I would like to thank you for practicing with me today under the Gemini new moon, and I hope you found some bliss and weightlessness in your meditation, and that you have enjoyed your experience. I hope you practice something new, and I'd like to wish you a happy new moon. Namaste. And I hope to see you again soon. Please don't forget to like, share or subscribe to the channel, or leave me a comment if there's anything you particularly like.